So, kitchen. And tonight will be crispy tofu with blistered snow peas, which kind of has a nice Asian feel. There's garlic, there's ginger. It reminds me growing up in the New York City area about having Asian food, but we called it Chinese back then. We go out a lot of Sundays to eat Chinese food in different parts of the New York area. I was never really a fan, but the best part was always dessert, where they offered you 4 flavors of ice cream. Hold that thought. Fast forward many years when I'm at George Washington University, I go out with my 2 roommates who have no patience. The patience of a saint didn't exist. We go out to Chinese food. I said, okay, I'll go with you. It gets time for dessert. The waiter says, we have ice cream. I said, what flavors? He said, chocolate, vanilla, strawberry. I said, although this is the only flavors you have? He said, yes. Chocolate, vanilla, strawberry. You have no other flavors? No. Chocolate, vanilla, strawberry. At which point my roommates yelled at me, will you just order already? He told you what he has. And I said, well, do you have cherry pistachio? He said, yes. They brought out the cherry pistachio. The roommates just did not believe it. They said, you must have brought it there. I didn't. Growing up in the New York City area, for whatever reason, cherry pistachio. There are no pistachio nuts in tonight's recipe, but there are toasted cashews. So I guess that's my connection. The recipe is delicious. This is unusual for me. I started out with a protein base that is tofu, but you can make it with chicken or fish. You just have to time it different during the browning phase. It's a wonderful dish. We've had it a couple of times. The sauce is really what does it. Like most of the dishes that I make, it's really pleasing. If you want to add more ginger to it, knock yourself out, feel free. The same thing with garlic. It's a wonderful recipe, highly recommend. Just showing you the 2 pieces of tofu that I have here. Yeah, it was on sale, so instead of having 14 ounces, it's coming out to a little bit over 15 ounces, but that'll be no problem. Just want to show you that I've already poured out the water from the tofu. I'm going to put a plate over it and then put my cast iron to drain out all the other liquid that's inside the tofu. And that's where it's going to rest until we're ready to crisp up the tofu. And the nice part about having that cast iron pan, putting all the weight down on the tofu, is that now I get to use the cast iron pan for the recipe. And taking the plate off, you might remember that I had a blue and white cloth. Well, that was soaked, and so is this one. So I got rid of a lot of the liquid, and now I'm just going to put some paper towel down on the plate after I cut it in half. And there's tonight's ingredients. The tofu is now cut into 4 pieces. There's the red pepper flakes. That's a cup of toasted cashews. The scallions cut into small slices. The mint, the oil, the vinegar. I'm coming back to this, so I put all my liquids in at the same time. That has molasses soy sauce and the coconut milk. And I'm bringing you into the coconut milk because when you open up your can, or actually before you open up your can, shake it. If you don't hear any liquid moving, open it from the bottom. That's where you're going to find the liquid. If you open it from the top, it'll be a solid. And when you go to pour the can into the dish, it's probably going to splash up. So opening at the bottom, you'll get all the liquid out, and then you can scoop out using your spoon the solids, which will still be in there, which hopefully the heat will take care of when we go cooking. The tofu has been salt and peppered, both sides. You can hear it sizzling away. It's going to cook for 8 minutes. I'm going to flip it over after 4. If you're using chicken, I would imagine it's going to be about the same amount of time you're trying to brown it. You might want to give chicken a few more minutes. If you're using fish, if it's a white fish, don't go 8 minutes. I think 4 to 6 would be enough. You just want it to be flaky. If you're using salmon, that could probably go about the whole 8 minutes. Again, doing the same thing, flipping it over, cooking it through. The taste will be coming from the coconut milk mixture, so I think they'll all absorb okay. The other thing, if you notice, some of the spots on the pan are hotter than others. When I flip it over, I'll be moving the tofu around. And after 4 minutes, you just flip them over, and browning quite nicely. And now for the next 4 minutes. Just added another tablespoon of oil to the pan. It heated up pretty quickly, and now in goes the snow peas. And I'm going to move them around quickly. Gives me about 3 minutes to blister. By the way, I do keep my fan on all the time. I'm only shutting it off when I have to talk to this video. Just added the 3rd tablespoon. This will be the final tablespoon into the pan of oil. You can see how nice and blistered they are. They turned much brighter green. The garlic and ginger will cook really quick. So 30 seconds, they're absolutely correct. You don't want to burn your garlic. And then from there, we'll add the liquids. Worried about it sticking it, the more you can smell that garlic and ginger cooking up really quick. And now for the coconut and soy and molasses. And those are the solids I was talking about earlier. You're going to mix those up and keep moving it rapidly. And at times what we'll do is come back and I'm going to cut up the tofu while it's cooking down. It says later on in the recipe to cut into one-inch pieces, but this would probably be the best time to do it. Just added the cashews and the tofu. We're going to stir that up, get all those flavors together, and then plate with the rice and the snap peas. Crispy tofu and blistered snow peas. And if you don't want blistered snow peas, broccoli, asparagus, that type of green will work perfectly. There we are. Enjoy.